Hey guys, Speedoz here, and today I bring you a new video about a Righteous Fire Chieftain, which our main objective here was to make a build that could be useful and playable with low budget PCs. If you have a PC that runs on a very low FPS and you basically die every time and need a tankier build to be able to clear packs, farm your own gear, and then continue progressively investing on your gear, that's the build for you. Initially I was going for Elementalist, but I didn't feel I was accomplishing this real objective, which was to run on low FPS computers, and this is why I took advantage of my previous character, which was a Fire Blade Vortex Chieftain. Make sure to check that out if you want to. But this character was already level 100 on Ritual League, so why not taking this character and then regret all the tree. So the idea is the same, but the ascendancy of the Chieftain is a lot tankier. We have plenty of regen by using the endurance charge benefits. We have also plenty of fire resist, the physical damage from hit stick, and S-fire damage, which makes our character even tankier against physical damage. We also have a lot of life recovery rate with its ascendancy, which is crazy regarding survivability. And the Ramako and also Hinekora are also welcome for this build regarding damage and a bit of survivability. Also damage with the cover rare or unique enemies in Nash for 10 seconds on hit. So very nice ascendancy overall speaking. We also have plenty of endurance charges, 2 endurance charges here. And well, I think considering the difference between the two ascendancies, Chieftain is a lot better if you have a worse PC. But how do you play this build? It is very simple indeed. We have plenty of life and plenty of regen, like I told you. We have even more regen with the endurance charges and a few other mechanics. But all you have to do is to move around either by walking or shield charging. You will eventually proc your Fortify, which will make you even tankier. And also when you're fighting against bosses, you basically fire your Scorching Ray. You will see that sometimes we are casting 2 other spells here, which are Wave of Conviction and the Stormbrand, as you can see both here, both linked with Combustion. The Wave of Conviction is used to reduce the fire enemies' resistances, and also the Stormbrand is used to proc our Elemental Equilibrium. Elemental Equilibrium basically reduces, makes the enemy have less elemental resist with the element that you haven't hit. So if you hit the enemy with a lightning resist, with a lightning damage, you will reduce the enemy's fire and cold rest, which is amazing for us. So make sure you do not have adds fire damage to attacks or adds fire damage to spells or any sort of adds fire damage on your equipment. Otherwise, the Elemental Equilibrium will not work properly and it will reduce your damage instead of increasing your damage, and that's what's supposed to do. So the gameplay is very simple, like I was telling you. On fighting bosses, you can sometimes press a few times the Scorching Ray, so you cast the Stormbrand and also cast the Wave of Conviction. But you basically hold a little bit, so you can have also your infusion to deal more damage against the bosses. But it will reduce the enemy's resistance by a lot, and it will make it burn. So very easy to play. You will be constantly gaining endurance charges just by walking. So very easy and very tanky as well. On your POB, you'll be able to see very relevant information. At the bottom left here, you have a few passive trees that you can see your progress. If you are playing the budget version, you have also the budget tree without the cluster jewels. As you can see, we have a large here, 2 mediums, also have 1 medium. With the budget version, you don't have any cluster jewels. You can also see our items. Our items are very good in my opinion. We invested a lot in this build, so you can have basically somewhere to go if you have enough currency. If you don't have enough currency, don't you worry, you also have a budget version here with very simple gear. As you can see, every gear that has a budget tag here is supposed to be budget. So before going into the budget gear, also on the notes you'll find everything that you need to build this character. You'll find information regarding Pantheon, Bennett's Ascendancy, every important topic about the gear that you're supposed to have, the budget version as well, which I'll go in the next few minutes. Elemental Equilibrium, like I told you, very important information. The bad mods that you shouldn't run, why trigger, something about the clear speed. When you're leveling, you should use 2 Kikazaro rings, 1 Springleaf shield, Shaper Seed, or Replica Survivable Amulet. Very useful to help you regen and be able to use Righteous Fire as soon as possible at level 16 or 18, something around that. You should level, in my opinion, as a melee character until Act 2, where you'll be able to use Righteous Fire and equip some of these items. Otherwise, just level and get some regen until you'll be able to use the Righteous Fire. Also, all the leveling gear, all the leveling gems below. Now, regarding the budget version and a few items, you can see that some of my endgame items are very expensive, but they are very easy to craft. If you have the currency, you will be able to craft them. For example, this helmet here on the notes section, you'll find the information on how to craft this item. So you'll need a level 84 plus, preferably, because you'll be able to get the tier 1 resist. Elder Influence, you just spam Essence of Horror until you get this supported by level 18, for example, Conk Effect. Once you get this mod, you should be blocking the prefixes by crafting something or auging with the harvest. Then craft a fire resist, so you'll be able to augment or remove and add until you have the supported by burning damage on your open suffix. Alright, so as you can see, basically all you need to have is currency for this helmet, so you can craft one for your own. I spent 10x on mine, and last time I checked it was worth, I don't know, maybe something around 20 to 40 exalts. It's just crazy how much currency you can make by actually crafting your own items. But for the budget version, like I was telling you, you don't necessarily need a helmet of such amount of currency. All you have to do is to buy a Elder helmet, so you can throw in essence a single one, and then you will have actually the 30% more elemental damage, and maybe you can hit another mod such as the Conk Effect or burning damage. So don't you worry, even with only one mod from the essence, which is 30% more elemental damage, is more than enough to play this build. Then you can craft the sucked AoE gems if you have an open prefix. It will all depends on your RNG at this point. And you can also use a Calm's Heart for your chest, so you have an open space and even more life. I am hitting a 10k life on this build, and probably 9k and something at level 90, as you can see. So yeah, 9.9, basically 10k life with Calm's Heart. The SNF's Gentle is also welcome to help you clear packs. It is costing 1 exalt at this moment. This gloves was costing from 15 to 20 exalts in the past league, so it's basically for free. But if you don't have the currency, you can also find a rare one with fire damage over time multipliers, some life, some resists. Very useful as well. As you can see, there's plenty of budget options with basically life and resist. You can craft some regen on the rings. You can also craft regen on your amulet. Very nice as well. The belt basically has life recovery rate, and a open affix for the regen as well. So very simple gear. You can also, if you don't have the cluster dual version, you can check the budget tree as I was showing you right now. So as you can see, there very relevant information on the PUB. that you can be checking out on the video description, and I do recommend that. Talking about the build itself, I think we've accomplished the main objective, which was to be able to have a build to play on low FPS builds. Probably is not something that you guys outside Brazil, overseas, living in Europe or living in North America may have, but we Brazilians have plenty of problems regarding FPS. So if that's not your case, maybe you'll enjoy this build by investing and be able to clear everything with very easy and being a lot tankier. But if you have the low FPS issues, I hope this helps you as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
What's this? A real challenge? You've finally caught my attention.
My monitor's gone.
Found strength in their projections. They became reliant on it. And not
I cannot do this yet.
Corrupted Blood. Só dá pra tancar aquele quando tem flash de bleeding. Ele solta o ataque, daí destaca um monte de bleeding. Você não consegue ficar parado. Ou se você cancelar, né, e consegue tancar os stacks, você não tem que tirar o bleeding com o flask.
warrant all this pain.
Vai tanca de boa os tais. Why fun? What's the point? Convoy RF dá muito mais dano também. Vou mostrar pra vocês. Força! Sempre tem que lembrar de dar shield charge de vez em quando, mano, pra você ganhar uns frames, né, se tiver o peito. Peito com frenzy charge. Fortify também. É de boa, atropela. He's doomed. Achei que ia dar tempo.
I cannot do this yet.
Ok. Beleza, né, mano? Tranquilo. I have seen beyond. Esse destaque aqui é absurdo, né? Que dá.